Hui Hoolauna, The Social Group, a presentation of the College of Social Sciences at the University of Hawaii.
Aloha, ikomo mai. Welcome to the fall 2012 edition of Hui Hoolauna, The Social Group, a TV magazine production brought to you by the University of Hawaii's College of Social Sciences and students in the journalism program of the School of Communications. I'm Roel Torres.
And I'm Sila Manahane. Coming up in this edition, an historic landmark here at UH gets a much-needed makeover.
Need a cheaper way to get around campus? We may have a green solution for you.
And
the Stevie Wonder concert aside,
we talk story with a Big Apple on campus.
there are tremendous people here at the university and in the state that I've really enjoyed meeting.
There's been a lot of construction going on campus this year.
The Campus Center, which was built in 1973, is the gathering place for students and faculty at UH Manoa. It has been undergoing renovation and expansion over the past 4 years and is expected to be completed by the end of this year. The estimated cost, nearly $50 million.
And just diamond ahead of Campus Center, a brand new information technology center is being built at a cost of more than $40 million. The 74,000 square foot facility will house data storage, servers, and also provide meeting rooms for disaster preparedness situations. The project should be completed by early next year.
And over at the Quadrangle, one of the most historic buildings long associated with the College of Social Sciences, is getting an extreme makeover. Lorraine Ako has been following its transformation. Lorraine?
That's right, Sila. Gartley Hall is one of the oldest buildings on campus. It was once the home of psychology, the largest department in the College of Social Sciences. But after it was condemned in 2009, students and faculty were forced to move.
You know, it was not a severe surprise because we knew there were problems with the building. The speed with which we had to evacuate was a surprise. I think we had like 2 or 3 days to get out.
Built in the 1920s, Gartley Hall is listed on the State and National Register of Historic Places. Its $13 million facelift began in 2012, 3 years after closing. Much of the work is focused on fixing the internal foundation damaged by years of major flooding.
The metal bars inside to hold up the building were rusted away. I have nice photographs of me wading through 6 inches of water in the basement during rainstorms. People had been concerned a long time, especially in the basement, because the floors were buckling and the walls were kind of uneven and so forth.
Psychology classes were moved or temporarily canceled, while offices and labs had to find new locations.
Everyone was like wandering around trying to find a place for us to go. I ended up in geography for a year.
Psychology faculty and staff were bounced around between Biomed, Saunders, and Hawaii Hall. The psychology department is now located here in Sakamaki Hall. When construction is finished, faculty and staff will not be moving back.
Well, to be honest, I miss Gartley. It doesn't really feel like we have our own home, so to speak, the way Gartley was.
I'm very happy here. This is a much better office than I had in Gartley Hall.
Despite the headaches and the hassles, UH officials believe once the makeover is done, Gartley Hall will return to its original glory. The project is expected to be completed by sometime next year. When it's finished, the School of Social Work will be moving in. I'm Lorraine Ako for Hui Hoolauna.
Thanks, Lorraine. Looking forward to the opening. You know, just across the quad is Saunders Hall.
The Saunders Social Corner opened last semester with the BC Burrito Stand, and it looks to be a hit with students and faculty so far. I know I've tried it a couple times and loved it.
Well, the elections are over and sign waivers have long gone, but did you know that this form of campaigning actually began right here in Hawaii? Back in 1968, a little-known school teacher named Charles Campbell ran for Honolulu City Council, but didn't have much money. So he and his students took to the streets with signs, and he won. We talked to a political science professor about why sign waving works, especially here in Hawaii. If you've ever been in Hawaii during election season, these folks should be a familiar sight.
When they wave back, you get a pump. It's a lot of fun.
Sign waving has become a standard for local politicians. The format is simple. Get a group of people, give them a sign, and get passing drivers to honk for your candidate. Sam Kong is a candidate for the State House of Representatives. Whenever they hit the streets, he and his supporters always seem to be having a good time.
Actually, it's just the best way to see the people in the community. And it's actually more fun than one would think, even in the rain, hot sun, sweating. I mean, seeing those smiling faces back at you makes your day. It's really nice.
UH political science professor Lawrence Nitz agrees with Kong.
Name recognition is in effect on the election. The appearance of being alive and active is in effect on the election.
So far, sign waving seems to be a cheap and effective way of getting name recognition. However, Hawaii seems to be the only state using this technique much. The reason for that may be the layout of our streets.
It works well here because we have a restricted number of traffic lanes that go in and out of each valley. Because there are a limited number of streets, everybody commuting on a certain route has to go on one of those streets.
Sign wavers will probably agree that location is an important thing to consider. However, most will say the trick behind it is the aloha spirit.
Well, you want to look at people personally. You want to look them in the eye. You want to give them a smile. It's all part of expressing your good feelings out to everyone.
And of course, you can't campaign in Hawaii without flashing that shaka. You know, that was made popular by former Mayor Frank Fossey.
No wonder he won so many elections. Thanks, Ruel. Coming up next on Hui Hoolauna. A special Hawaiian blessing for a greener way of getting to school.
And UH's new chancellor reflects on the wonder blunder.
If we could have a do-over, I'd like to.
Are you swimming in a sea of indecision?
Searching for a new direction?
Then head on over to the University of Hawaii's College of Social Sciences.
You'll find everything there from anthropology to journalism to women's studies and more.
So dive on in to the College of Social Sciences.
Find your future.
Welcome back to Hui Hoolauna.
Getting to the university during the school year is a major hassle.
This is why I catch the bus instead of driving. But as Emmy Aiko tells us, now there's a new alternative mode of transportation that may be right for you. Emmy?
Well, Sila, it's a pilot program that's intended to save you time, money, and aggravation. And for just $10 an hour, you get a hybrid car that's right on campus with free parking and gas.
I slide it there, just like that. Doors unlock. Open it up. Gas and keys are inside the glove compartment. Good to go.
Pay an annual fee and go online to book one of 3 hybrid cars available in the new WeCar program. The program allows students and faculty to rent a car for an hour or a day.
To rent, like the Chevy Volt, it's $10 an hour. That includes all the fuel, insurance, the maintenance, the upkeep of the car, roadside assistance. At $10 an hour, that's a really inexpensive rate.
More than 30,000 students and faculty commute to campus every day. That number increases to 80,000 people if you include entire Manoa neighborhood.
What we really want to do is create less congestion. We want to help out students that are in need of commuting while having alternate modes of transportation to get to school.
WeCar is part of a plan to cut down on congestion by encouraging alternative transportation, including bicycling and walking to school.
As we get more and more people that will use an alternative mode to get back and forth for the major part of their commute, that reduces the number of people that are driving alone to campus, which is exactly what we want to do, because driving alone impacts congestion, it impacts the environment, plus it costs a lot of money.
For faculty and staff, WeCar offers alternative to car rental and car ownership, and may save the university some money.
We have some programs that have purchased cars in the past, The cars just sit there. So if they're not using it very frequently, they can save money by using the WeCar and only paying for their use, what they use.
And it's also good for the environment.
We got vehicles like this. It's a big push to help with the green push, cleanliness of the environment.
Although the program got off to a slow start, officials hope to pick up some speed by promoting it to faculty and other departments across campus. If you want to find out more information, log on to their website at wecar.com. I'm Emmy Aiko for Hui Hoolauna.
Thanks, Emmy. While we're on the green theme, UH Manoa is working on more ways to save energy.
St. Clair Library is now using solar panels to power the building. When it was first designed in the 50s, St. Clair was ahead of its time, using wide window openings to create a natural air conditioning system.
The solar panels are expected to save the university about $500,000 over its 25-year lifespan and hopefully reduce energy consumption by up to 50%. Even with all its efforts, the university got a B in the Office of Sustainability's Green Report Card.
As Chelsea Bernardes reports, university officials are doing what they can to make the perfect grade.
Yes, they're looking for an A, and they hope to achieve it by going green in every building. One way they plan to get that 4.0 is to make Kuykendall Hall the first zero fossil energy net building. That means the building will use at least 65% less energy than it is now.
These walls will be windows with light shelves in them, so the light will be bounced around. There will be photovoltaics on the roof, water conservation throughout the building. There'll be green landscaping all around.
Meter offers tips on how every student can contribute to improving Manoa's sustainability grade.
Turn out the lights.
Meter says the class can function with just a third of the lights on. For the last student to leave the class, turn off all the lights. And if it's an air-conditioned room, close the door. These small behavioral changes will save electricity. The College of Social Sciences Policy Center focuses on energy through the Hawaii Policy Energy Forum.
There's a real shift in the attitudes, the interest in energy. Now buildings that are being much more energy efficient, photovoltaic on the roofs. We even have a wind turbine right there that's being tested.
We're pleased to bring you this series of programs.
The forum partnered with Hawaii News Now to produce 6 shows on energy efficiency, hoping the effort to make the campus green will apply to the state. With a concerted effort from all students and faculty, hopefully by the end of the year, UH would get its A. I'm Chelsea Bernardes for Hui Hoolauna.
From clean energy, we go to clean oceans. That's the goal for the Surfrider Foundation, dedicated to preserving Oahu's shores. Stuart Coleman, author of Eddie Would Go, hopes to partner with UH students to ride the waves of change. It isn't a surprise that legendary icons of surf, Eddie Aikau and Rel Sun, exuded compassion and love for their 2 most treasured things, ohana and the preservation of their aina. Sun was a founding board member of the nonprofit grassroots organization, the Surfrider Foundation. Today, it is dedicated to cultivating the founding principles, including beach access and resource preservation.
Stop using single-use plastic bags, water bottles, straws, utensils. It will make a huge difference.
Americans buy more than 28 billion plastic bottles a year. Just over 22 billion of them are recycled. The remainder go to landfills or into our environment.
We have limited resources on the island, and if we don't take care of them, they're going to be gone and we won't have any tourists to come and visit us.
By recycling this, you could save another marine animal from mistaking it as food. In an effort to keep Hawaii's beaches clean, Coleman helmed a 2-hour cleanup where volunteers took action by collecting rubbish from the coastlines at the Sand Island and Pokai Bay beach parks. Coleman spoke with students at the East-West Center during a Wednesday evening seminar about his book and addressed environmental awareness issues.
How do you begin to understand when the world is changing? How you recognize that change? How do you respond to these different forces?
Malama Ikekai. You have to take care of the ocean because the ocean takes care of us. It's our source of food, of enjoyment, of play, and our weather and everything else.
To learn more, log on to surfrider.org.
Thanks, Sela. Still to come on Hui Hoolauna, an exclusive interview with UH's new Chancellor, Tom Apple.
Plus, a short film by a UH alum, Casey Chin. Welcome back to Hui Hoolauna. Tom Apple took on the job as UH Chancellor in June and immediately got embroiled in what was known as the Wonder Blunder. Apple was called into Senate hearings about a scam involving a Stevie Wonder concert that never happened. Questions were raised about the $200,000 used to book the no-show.
We had a chance to sit down and get to know the Chancellor better, and in that conversation, he shared his thoughts about his new job, coming to Hawaii, and of course, the controversy. Aloha, Chancellor Apple. Thank you very much for coming to the show today.
Oh, my pleasure, Emmy. It's wonderful to be here.
Good to have you here. First of all, you were named a Chancellor in May, but a lot of us may not know who you are. So could you tell us your background?
Yeah. Well, I grew up in the town of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, which is a steel town. I then went to Penn State University as an undergraduate. So after graduating from Penn State, I went back to my hometown and I worked in a boiler room for the better part of a year. But I didn't see a future in that, so I went off to graduate school at the University of Delaware. And the interesting thing was that within a month of going to graduate school, I found my passion for the first time in my life. And that was in research. I'm a magnetic resonance spectroscopist. I do time-dependent quantum mechanics. I'm a physical chemist. And I really found my passion from doing research.
You know, what brought you here?
My wife and I visited Hawaii almost every year for the last 20 years, as tourists, admittedly. But I always felt like I was being reborn when I came here. Would come here to kind of re-energize, and it's been absolutely wonderful. The Stevie Wonder concert aside, it has been there are tremendous people here at the university and in the state that I've really enjoyed meeting. I've had so many aloha experiences. Last year in 2011. There's a Maui Oceanfront Marathon, and I ran the 15K within that race. I'm proud to say I came in 4th overall, and I think the record can show, I think everybody who beat me, the 3 folks that beat me were less than half my age. So, now, having said that, I'm in horrible shape now. I got injured a little after that. I've gained 15 pounds, and I need to take a taxi cab to finish the course in the time I did last year.
Is that a way to like get your stress out?
Absolutely, absolutely. There's nothing better than a 10 or 12 miler on the weekend to think about things and relieve stress.
So was it being stressful after you know all these controversy and?
It has been. It has been. I won't deny that it's been stressful. I could have done a better job of communicating. Ultimately, I think the decisions that I've made were the right ones, but the communication was not good. And I'm learning. I'm learning from that, and I hope to be a better communicator going forward. And, you know, I made some blunders in my media interviews. Hopefully, I'm not making one right now. And I felt that Jim was somebody I wanted on my team, but after talking with a bunch of people, I didn't think it was in the best interests of the students and the coaches to continue him as athletic director. But it's tough being at a press conference and having questions lobbed at you and having to respond. You know, if we could have a do-over, I'd like to.
You said do-over, like which part we want to do over?
Well, I made a statement about when asked about Jim Donovan's performance, and the statement I made seemed to be at odds with the action I was taking. And Jim Donovan is a very talented individual, and I have great respect for him. But I did feel that we needed a different leader in athletics.
Do you have any advice to the students here at Manoa?
Seek out your passion and challenge yourself. I often say to take risks, intellectual risks. I'm not talking about walking a tightrope across the Grand Canyon or Waimea Canyon, but if you're an engineer, take an art class. If you're an artist, take a math class. Those kind of intellectual challenges where you confront yourself, get out of your comfort zone, are really where you make the greatest progress and where you learn the most.
Thank you very much for coming here today, Chancellor Apple.
My pleasure.
Aloha and thank you.
Aloha.
It was a great opportunity to meet Chancellor Apple, and we thank him for his time. I'm Emmy Aiko for Hui Hoolauna.
When we come back, a creative way of looking at Hawaii through the lens of an alum.
Don't go away.
Looking for a career in politics,
Social work or communications?
Then the College of Social Sciences at UH Manoa is
your choice
for higher education.
offering more than a dozen degrees from anthropology to women's studies,
and much more in between.
The College of Social Sciences has what you've been looking for.
Find your future. Welcome back to Hui Hoolauna. Casey Chin is a journalism alum who won the Fox News College Challenge 3 years ago. Casey lives in Sacramento, but recently returned to Hawaii to play tourist, and through a creative use of his camera, came up with this travel log called Hawaii Revisited.